Hello, Matthew. How are you?
I'm very fine, June. Dr. June. Nice to meet you today.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions with regards to the International School of Musicians. That's
Great.
ISoM.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking questions just to know the existence, what
Hmm.
ISoM is all about. So I just
Hmm.
decided to get this avenue for us to enlighten them and then see where they can come in the cause of our operation here in Lagos, Nigeria as a whole.
Lovely.
So I think
Hmm.
I have some questions which bother some of my clients and some parents who have children to present
Hmm.
for the ISOM exams. And one of the questions says, please, can you tell us what the International School of Musician is all about in a
That's a
nutshell? Very
that is a
brief.
great question. I'm going to try and do it in a nutshell. The International School of Musicians is an education and digital examination provider. We're based in London, East London, and our ethos and mission is about breaking down the barriers to music education and quality assessment, international examination assessments, so that people can access this. Because there are many barriers, whether it's the cost of the books or being able to access exams digitally or being able to get really, really good feedback and being able to get very, very decent quality certificates. And our certificates are also Ofqual recognised. I know you're going to ask me that soon. So that is us in a nutshell. It's definitely about breaking down the barrier. And certainly we've got a very, very strong ethos in that every 10 exams we do, we give away one for free, no questions asked. And I think I might have said to you before, we're working with some lovely young people in Madagascar who we're doing some free work for them. We're also doing free master classes for them because we know they don't have the money. And this is part of our ethos and very much in our heart. It's about people at the heart of everything we do. So hopefully that is a nutshell. That's what we're
Oh,
about.
quite awesome, quite awesome. So I think the next question goes to, is ISOM accredited? Is it
Yes.
recognized internationally?
Yes, we are an Ofqual awarding organisation, the Office of Qualifications here. That means we're on the UK framework and we're also on the European framework. It also means that when you get to grade 6 and above, our examinations are worth what's called UCAS points, which is the Universities and Colleges Admissions Service here. That means it gives you extra opportunities to study here or actually study throughout Europe. We are also endorsed by Montessori Global Education Group for our examinations. That's specifically for the early years. However, we are looking at actually making that for all years. And we also have our course, Montessori Music Educator course, is endorsed by Montessori Global Education Group.
Oh, that is quite awesome. Great. I'm
Oh,
sure
no, hang on,
parents.
two more things. I just remembered. We are also a CPD provider, that's continuing professional development. So our courses carry points on that. And we are also on the UK Register of Education Providers, which is unusual because I don't think any of the other examining boards are actually on the Register of Education Provider because they are external mostly. So you have the Royal Colleges and then the exam boards are external. We are centralised in that we're part of the British government, if that helps.
That's great. That's great. So is ISOM also, is ISOM affiliated to any educational maybe university, higher educational institution? Okay. Is it affiliated? No.
Uh, we are affiliated with the Costa Rican government because we're a government entity. We're more
Okay.
likely to be working with governments as opposed to individual universities. And we're also with the government in Uzbekistan. So we have lots of different arrangements. So we work closely with somebody in Cyprus, in the north of Cyprus, and he has relationships with universities there. So I can't name you one because it's continuously growing, if it's the best way to describe it. That there's not one in particular.
Okay. Okay. Because that question arises when somebody saw one of my certificate I got from ISOM about 2 years ago, University of
Oh
West
yes,
London. Oh, they will say, oh, quite affiliated to University of West London. I said,
yes,
well,
yeah.
uh,
No, no, we don't work with them anymore, but that's okay because we agreed on our separation, but we work with lots of other partners around the world, and it's more reflective that we are international in that sense. We also work very closely with the Welsh government, so it's more government based than in different institutions.
Okay. Sorry. The next question I'm supposed to ask has been answered. It says, are there any designated institution in the UK that accepts ISoM certificate requirement? You've answered that already.
Well,
Yeah.
I can say further, actually, all
Okay.
of them, because we're on the Ofqual register, it makes us the same as Associated Board, Trinity, London College of Music Examinations, Music Teachers Board, Rock School. It makes us the same. And then also the speech and drama, like Lambda, London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. And there's another one, they're called New Era, which is to do with drama and musical theatre. So
Oh,
from that perspective, we're on that register. So everybody accepts it, but of course there might always be a private school that says, oh, we only want this or we only want that. That's up to them. But from a public perspective, it's everyone.
oh, great. Okay, the next question says, how well can ISOM's graded certificates be used for further admission into higher institution, as well as being accepted during employment opportunities when employment opportunity comes?
Well,
Yeah.
certainly for the higher institutions. So, like I say, from grade 6 upwards, they carry the university, the what we call UCAS, UCAS, University Colleges Admissions Service, or whatever it's called. It carries points. So, for example, let's forget about music for a minute. Let's imagine somebody wants to study, I don't know, maybe they want to study history. Even by having a music exam or one of our exams, even at grade 6 or 7 or 8, etc., depending on what your result is, it will give you certain points that pushes you higher up into
Wow.
the position of being able to get into study. So it's not just about music. And one of the questions that's always asked for medical schools and dentistry schools here is they often ask in interviews, did you play an instrument or do you play an instrument? Because they're really keen on them people knowing that actually you're not just like, you're clever to be a doctor, etc., or scientist or dentist. Actually, you've got strength in your fingers, like you've actually got the physical ability to be able to do things as a medical doctor. So that is a very common question here that a lot of people don't know that is asked. So obviously, if you've got a certificate, that helps you further. And in terms of employment, um, it does differ around the world, but like I say, we are on the European framework. So generally speaking, it is understood that a grade 8 examination gives you the certain level to be good enough to be able to teach some people to start with. And so that's been a sort of given for 50 or more years.
Oh, quite awesome. I'm so glad to be associated with ISOM. So
Oh,
glad
thank
because
you.
hearing
We're
this
so
really
glad.
impacts a lot.
We're so glad to be associated with you.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
dada,
great.
as you know.
So we move to question number 7. It says, can we know the nature of ISOM exams and how are they conducted? Are they conducted virtually or physically?
Okay, so we are mostly a digital examination provider. That was the whole point about how to bring down the barriers before COVID. So that's important. So we do live online, and our platform was developed, uh, like I say, before COVID. So we've got over all of the latency lag and all of those issues. So we love doing the live online exams because it gives us a chance to say hello to the young people, meet them, talk to them, and get them to do their exams. We always run a connectivity check at least 3 days before, and that's not the examiner, that's our office team. And they check, can we hear you? Can we see you? Is everything and everything is set up nicely so that when it comes to the exam, there's no kind of, oh, can they hear me? Can they see me? It's all set up. So that is one way of our doing exams. And that also means we always work in everybody else's time zone. So I think at the moment you and I are on the same time zone. I think we are. But you can imagine other countries. So this morning I was in Hong Kong and they're 7 hours ahead. Later tonight I'm going to be in Costa Rica with a meeting and they're 8 hours behind. I'm
I
getting
hope you'll be
confused.
abducted.
I told you I need a holiday. But no, we work in everybody else's time zone. So when we work in New Zealand, which is a lot of fun, especially if it's winter here, we're here and we're all wrapped up and in our cardigans. And then the New Zealanders come in and they're in shorts and flip-flops and it's like, and then we see the beach in the background. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's always in your time zone, not ours. There is also the opportunity of doing recorded exams, which we know people like doing. We think that people probably think it's easier, not necessarily, but they think the recorded option gives them the chance. I can record it, I do it again, I do it again. It does give people lots of chances. And that is great because, you know, if you work in a studio or if you do any type of recording or filming, it's not in one take, is it? They don't make those Hollywood or those Nollywood blockbusters. They don't make them in one take, right? I know I've read all about this, including all the stunts that they do in the Nollywood films. I love them. So it can't be done in one take. So we understand that, you know, so that's important. We do also offer face to face. It's not something we really talk a lot about because we are really meant to be a digital entity, but we understand that there are some places where we really want to get things going. And actually, if I came or one of my other wonderful members of staff, if we actually came and we worked with you in Lagos, I'm sure you're in Lagos, I haven't got that wrong, I hope not. But yeah, if we worked with you, and then we wouldn't just do exams, you know, we'd do workshops, we'd do master classes, we'd let people find out about us. And of course, I'd only want to come for the jollof rice and the fish pepper soup. No, that's not true. It's not true. And my obsession with the banj, no. But we would do that. We would make it work because we believe in the people that we work with. This is why
Yep.
we're always saying we're about, you know, creating partnerships, building relationships that lead to lifelong friendships. And we're very sincere about that. You know, this is important to us. It's about people. The world is about people. And never more in any time ever, it feels like now is a time about people and coming together. So that's very important.
Thank you so much, Dr. June. I've never regretted the first time I met you. I've up to now, you've been so awesome, very hardworking lady, and I'm very, very glad I met you. And as my
Uh,
director of ISoM, yes, I'm so glad I met you. So I have a question from one of my Ghanaian colleagues. He's from
oh,
Ghana. He
mhm.
was asking, can we know the deadline and periods for the exams so we can plan ahead? But I think you've answered the question.
We
Yeah.
don't have any. No, we're very flexible.
Yeah.
So we have a fantastic partner. Like I say, we work with the Welsh government, and we also work with another company in Wales, and they make harps, and they're amazing. And we're actually doing exams tomorrow and Sunday, and the exams are actually happening on a cruise ship.
Yep. Yep.
The people that are taking the exams are on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, and our examiner is in Johannesburg. I mean, I think this is a fantastic way of connecting people. It's just brilliant, and that's another thing we do. We love employing people in their own countries. That's important to us as well. It's not about holding it in London or within Europe. So we have, you know, examiners in Turkey, Cyprus, South Africa, Spain. Well, that's Europe. I just said Europe, but also in India and just all over the world. That's really important to us.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. So we move to the
Mhm.
next question. I know this question is going to be most psychological. It says, considering regions from Africa whose economic plight is worsened by maybe the exchange rates, and what are the fees consideration for a country like Nigeria? Perhaps I know that was something we were supposed to be discussing
Yes.
before we
No, that's
conclude.
very important. Well, I
Mm.
think I'm right in saying that you've got 400% inflation. I think. I don't think I've got that wrong. I'm aware that there's protests going on in your country at the moment as we're talking in 9th of August, 2024. I'm also aware that there's situations for some people where they can't afford food, which is, you know, horrendous. And of course,
Yeah.
sometimes you sit in London, you can forget these kind of things. So we take very serious the considerations of what you suggest. We do have we have basically three fee schemes. There's one fee scheme that is for the UK and certain developed countries. There's a second fee scheme that is for developing countries. And then there's a third fee scheme that we don't advertise because if we did, well, we might have some issues, but you know, we work with you in your country. So, for example, in Sri Lanka, where they had some incredible financial challenges a couple of years ago, I think it's improved now. One of our members of staff, I can't remember if you've met him or not, Dr. Vasilis Stamatis. He is a musician, but he's also an economist. And he actually really is researching this and he's very interested in how do we make sure that people can still afford this and it's fair. And that's important. So we're always up for considerations and we would be willing for you to say, okay, this we think is too pricey at the moment. would you consider this? And the chances are, if you ask me, well, the answer will be yes. So there we go.
Okay. All right. We'll discuss more on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Samuel. Thank you so much. Thank you for the consideration.
Oh, it's
Okay.
important.
So the next question says, can we know the valuable ISoM programs for musicians internationally? Well, yeah.
You mean so not exams, but you're talking about more like teaching and master classes and stuff?
Okay, the programs. I know we have exams, graded exams. I think you have a diploma, you have associate, fellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we do. Yes. So we've got the graded exams that start very early at level 1 and level 2 that are endorsed by Montessori. From step 1, they are accredited by Ofqual all the way up to grade 8, and I've talked about that. And then we get into the diplomas. And so we have a diploma that is a DIP ISoM, a diploma that is an A ISoM, a diploma that is an L ISoM, so they're associate and licentiate, and then there is a fellowship diploma at the higher level. You can do those in performing. That would need to be live online. I would think. I would think the size of the file in terms of recording would be pretty tricky, but we could work on that. We could work on that. And then we also have diplomas in professional achievement. So if somebody has achieved a lot, for example, you or someone else, they can write to us and we can help them put together a portfolio of what they have done. And actually, that's a really good learning lesson for them, because sometimes we forget to say what we've done ourselves. We get, especially as teachers, now, it's about all the children, it's about everybody else. And sometimes we forget, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, I did that once. Oh, I did this. I did that. So we've got examples which I could share with you. I just have to take out the person's name in it. But I could share an example of that, of what it looks like. I've told you about, we do a Montessori music educator certificate course, which gives you a Montessori qualification as a teacher. And we also run, as I said to you before, we run a teacher training program actually in Abuja, which I think Abuja is north of you. I'm not sure. And that's been going really well. And we ran that last year. And we're running it again this coming academic year. That's what we've got at the moment. We're always looking to add things. So, for example, music production and technology, we know that is very important. That's what one of my colleagues is adding. We're also looking at more indigenous music. So we work closely with our partners in Jordan, and they are developing an Arabic music syllabus. We've got the early level of that. And in Greece, we're working on a Byzantinian syllabus. So we're looking at all these other, because music is music and we want to share it. It's difficult for me to answer any further than that, only because we have so much. I mean, we have DJ exams and we're planning a DJ course. It's not finished yet, but it should be ready in the next, I don't know, few months, I would hope. Which is another way for people to get involved in music. Maybe they think, oh, I don't want to play the recorder, or I haven't got a piano, or I can't do this. Oh, but you can do this all on a laptop. You can be a DJ, and we love that. So we're very interested in lots of things like that. Composing, we have a composing syllabus, which is very good. We're just about to, hopefully, might take another month or so, composing for video games and film and media. So there's all things that we're adding all the time. So it's not just that classical musical world. It's broader than that.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. But I didn't hear much about music theory of music.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. I forgot about that. Okay, music theory is very important. I mean, certainly for me, my teacher insisted that I did grade 8 theory, which actually I'm really glad that I did. And I'm so old, Matthew, that in the old days, if you did one instrument associated board and another instrument Trinity, you still had to do the theory for both. So I ended up doing grade 8. I ended up doing all the way up to grade 8 with associated board and Trinity. So I love theory. I think it's very, very important. I'm aware that many examining boards have got rid of the grade 5 requirement, so before you can do grade 6, 7, and 8. I understand why they've done that, but let's be honest, they've done it from a commercial perspective. That's the only
Oh,
reason they've done it. Yeah, I
yeah.
think so. So we have a lot of resources that are free to access for theory. We offer theory on demand, which means I'd like to do it every month. my colleagues would prefer it was every 2 months, but I got this obsession that, you know what, theory is once a month. If you want to do a theory exam, you can do it this month or that month. And then we just try and coordinate the dates and times with the various countries that we do. So for example, this month we have theory exams in Brunei and South Africa at the same time. I know there's a time difference, but we've made that work. So we do offer theory as well. We also run summer school programs. So we just had the people from Jordan, they were just here, which was fantastic. And we have another summer school. Well, it's not definite, but we're actually going to run one hopefully in Abu Dhabi, but I can't be sure about that, but that might work, I hope. And then we have another one here in January, summer school. It sounds funny, but holiday school, I guess. And then next year we have 50 young people coming from Antigua, which will be really exciting for some school. So, and China as well. So, yeah, we do summer schools as well as lots of things.
Wow, so glad to hear that ISoM is doing marvelously well, so tremendously. Yeah, we must capture
Now you know why I'm so
globally
tired.
global visibility for ISoM.
We
So
try.
yeah. So the next question says, are there ISoM exchange programs for intended participants like
Oh,
workshops, seminars, festivals, and tours?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I think I've answered some of that.
Okay.
This is something that we do want to work on. So again, we've got two partners in South Africa. One is in Johannesburg and one is in Guerba. I think I've pronounced that wrong. Guerba. I'm going to
Okay.
say the anglicised version of Port Elizabeth. I've probably pronounced it wrong.
Okay.
We're planning on doing an exchange visit there, and we're also planning one in Romania. So yes, we are doing this, and of course, it's always about, you know, where can we get the funding from this? Where can we bring the price down
Yeah.
to allow people to be able to meet together? We also have an annual conference. We had our first one in March this year, and we had visitors from South Africa, from Moldova, from Romania, from Sicily, from Cyprus, no, not Cyprus, sorry, from Greece and from Corfu and Uzbekistan. And I might have forgotten a country. I've missed a country out somewhere. But I mean, that was, oh, England, I guess, yeah. But that was really exciting. So we're also very much about research, and we're developing an academic journal. It's still in its early stages, but we should have something out in the next, again, couple of months. And then once we've run that for a year, then we will be able to make this into a fantastic thing that actually, where people can, because to be able to get involved in the world of academia and writing journals can be very difficult. There's often barriers to that. So we're trying to stop that and make sure that we can actually publish people and help them shape their work. Because who knows how to write an academic article? Not everybody, right?
Sorry, Dr. June, I have one. Music and the Charles Brain. I think I will share with you.
Oh, please, we can join up. We could
All
join up.
right.
So yeah, so we're
I
very
will.
much about that as well. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we move to the next question, second to the last question, which I'm sure you also answered the question. Does ISoM have programs for associate fellowships programs, which you've done? That is associate, there's diploma, there is fellowships. I know you've said something like that.
Yes, I mean they're the exams. We don't have any teaching to the route to
Oh,
get there, and that's
okay.
because Ofqual would not allow us to do that. But it is something that we can look at with one of our partners in working out a pathway. I mean, maybe it could even be you, Matthew. Maybe you could be somebody that provides the educational pathway, and it could be for the people in Jordan, or it could be for the people in Panama. It could be for people anywhere. So
Yeah.
it's open, but with Ofqual, we're not allowed to actually teach for what we are assessing. That's
Okay.
important.
So the next question says, what are the future prospects of ISOM and Nigerian participants? Because I know next year conference, I'll be
Yeah.
holding in June.
Absolutely. I mean, really,
Yeah.
it can be anything we want. We're very open for people to come to us with their ideas. I mean, I do have lots of ideas, and hopefully I've given some already. But we also want people to come to us and say, "Hey, I got this idea. We could do this. We could do that." So, for example, tomorrow the people in Madagascar, they've well, some people that we're working with, they set up a Saturday school, and they're at their very beginning. You know, the people, they don't really know much about music. They've got some old keyboards and a bass guitar and a drum. So tomorrow I'm going to watch some of that just to get a feel for what they're doing, and then I'm going to make a suggestion of how we can give them free masterclass is perhaps not the right word, but a free sort of workshop online of how they can develop their music skills. So really, the world is your oyster. Nigeria, tell me what you want. I know what I want. I want the jollof rice and the fish pepper soup. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
That's awesome. Thank you so
And if
much.
I don't get it, ma poitier, if I don't get it.
So I know there will be a conference next year.
Yes.
So are the major requirements for Nigerian participants who intend to participate at the conference next year?
I didn't quite hear the first part of that question. I
Are
heard
they
you say about the
major,
conference. Mhm.
okay, are the major requirements for Nigerian participants, maybe people like us who would love to participate at the conference, are there requirements?
We haven't actually set the requirements yet. We haven't actually set the theme yet. We need to do that within the next month.
All
The
right.
theme in March was music education and culture, and that's quite a broad remit of what we could do. So, for example, the person from Uzbekistan was describing about the music that they learned there, the maqams, which was absolutely fascinating. The person who actually was talking about English music was talking about English folk song and how you can teach it in the classroom. Then we had the chap from Romania was talking about Romanian Maneli music, which is often associated with gypsy or traveller music, and how this can be developed further, so children can really learn more about it, and it not being like an outsider kind of music because it's not really taught in the classroom. So that was March's conference. We might do something similar along that lines because we are international, and actually we do want to know what do you do in Nigeria? How do you teach? So I've seen some of your beautiful videos, and with your wonderful singer, God's Power. What a fantastic name. I love that. But it's beautiful. The music is beautiful. I mean, I think I told you I played one on repeat the other week because I was singing along. You know,
Awesome.
we could make it even we could look at a sort of more religious or maybe religious, not spiritual thing. I mean, that would be lovely. We work with fantastic person in, like I say, India and Abu Dhabi, and I know he's a church organist. I mean, the options are wide open. But in terms of requirements at the moment, we haven't set any. I think the important thing is to be able to make people feel welcome, to come into a space where, you know, I'm a doctor. We've got professors and doctors to come into a space where they can feel welcome, and not just because I've got qualifications, but
Yeah.
actually we want to help them. It's not about I know more than you, because it's not that.
Thank you
So
so much.
that's very
Yeah,
important.
that's an awesome platform, which I'm glad to be a member. So I think
Ah,
what I'll share with you of lately, subsequently, would be more of African, Nigerian, African genre, Afro kind of music, our folk, high
that would be
life,
nice.
sharing more of that. So maybe with you, so we could see how we can be able to learn from each
See,
other.
then you be the Oga.
So we've got to the last question, so I can
Okay.
allow June go take our lunch. It says, how can we get in contact with ISoM educational activities in Nigeria? I know that question is back to me.
Uh, it is. So we are aware that on our website we need to make some improvements. Like I say, we are partly owned by the British government, which sometimes can slow us down, or sometimes we don't think about what does it look on the website. We're not very good with that because I know that we need to improve that. So Matthew, you are our wonderful representative in Lagos. We want
Thank you.
to work with you. So everybody should contact you, to be honest. And then I know we've got a page on our website that says partners, and we haven't actually sorted that out yet. On that section, people will see partners, and they'll see the two people in South Africa. They'll see you in Nigeria. They'll see the other lady in Abuja. They will see, you know, Jordan, Palestine, Israel, Greece types. I keep going around the world, Turkey, wherever you like,
We'll
Australia.
go around.
Yeah,
We
we
will
keep
go
going.
around more.
We
Yeah.
go around. We go around. We go around. So really to get in touch with you because you are the person to make it happen. And you know that we want to make it happen, actually. You know, there is a very, very large, well, I can't think what the word is, if it's diaspora. I don't know. All right, there's a large demographic of Nigerians in the UK. I don't know if you know that. So I told you before, so many of my friends are Nigerian. Only one of them is actually born in Nigeria. I just realised all the rest are London born. But I just thought of that. I never thought of that before. Actually, I'm going to see her next week. Oh, there's something you can do. She runs a charity called Cause for Children, and they have something called True Little Heroes. And it's on our Facebook page, and you can nominate young people for an award if they've tried really hard. It's not just in music, it's in sports, it's in entrepreneur, it's in I can't remember. There's all different categories. There's so many. And last year, we had a boy who I thought was I thought he was Nigerian because his name was Damiola. So I made an assumption. I made an assumption, and I knew he was at the time living in Nigeria, and he couldn't come to the award ceremony. So he gave a thank you speech, and when he gave a thank you speech, he sounded like King Charles. He sounded so English. It was so funny. So he's obviously English born Nigerian, but he had he was such a lovely little boy, so sweet. So he was nominated. So yes, please know that we want to work with people in Nigeria. It's very important to us, and like I say, we have a large group of Nigerian people here anyway. So let's meet it all up. Sound good?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure the viewers of this webinar will be so glad. And
I hope so.
if they have any question, they could channel it to me. I will get in touch with Dr. June. She's a wonderful lady. Nice to work with her. You can't ever regret meeting you. Thank you so much, Dr. June.
Thank you. Eshe. Thank you very much. Sorry, you know, I only ever speak in Yoruba. I need to learn some other languages, Igbo and some others. But in the meantime, I will say for now, Odabo, and take care. Money fair to Nigeria.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. June.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.